from Tarn Taran Sahib in Punjab, India. We're here with the 34th edition of ESL Open Cup Asia division. I am, of course, your host, Yaku of the Zaku, and with me today we have Esteran Bailando con el joven Stalin himself, Light_VIP. How are you doing, Light?
Yeah. Did you just say I dance with Stalin?
What? You're ballin'.
There we go.
You be ballin'.
Oh god. Well, so too soon. I heard that at the beginning of that intro. The fueled by dare. Feels.
I was hoping you wouldn't.
Feels.
I was hoping I would cover that quick enough.
Feels bad, man. We're back. We're here with another week of ESL Open Cup Asia, and mate, hey, let's get into it.
All right, shall we then? In the top right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner of Eternal Empire, Ile. We have the red Protoss player coming out from the land of South Korea. He is going to be representing GDAT. We have GyulzzinG.
And spawning in at the bottom left-hand corner of Eternal Empire LE, we have the Australian Protoss, the blue Protoss player, representing Fight for Justice. It is StarDuck.
StarDuck is being weird, Light.
Oh man, he didn't go forward
Look
first.
at what he's got in his natural. Look at that. How many gases has he got? No gases. He's taking 2 right now.
Mate,
Is this StarDuck?
Mate, you know,
This is StarDuck. Is this PvP?
there was a time, I remember, maybe 6 months ago, where StarDuck said that he was trying to play macro, and we didn't believe him because he wasn't. But now,
He thought he was lying, but he was
Yeah.
actually telling the truth. He just meant that he was going to try to play macro eventually.
In 6 months.
And now it's eventually.
Exactly. Oh my god. So okay. For a bit of context, you know, there are people that may not be familiar with StarDuck. He's an Australian player. He's an Australian Protoss player. He's known for being incredibly cheesy. Like that's all he does. That's all he knows.
Now, granted, he knows multiple different types of cheeses.
True.
But cheeses nonetheless.
Exactly. But you know, to be fair, recently he's been dabbling in the Void Ray and Stargate play in like motherships as well, like with the latest patch. So I don't know if that's gonna come into play, especially because we have GyulzzinG being the one proxying instead.
Yeah, going for that Robo Bay or Robo Facility, and as we all know, when you have Robo Facility versus Stargate, it's all about the timing. Will the Immortals cripple the Stargate player first, or will the Stargate player be able to get some defenses out first with that Stargate?
Yeah. It's important to know that there is no Stargate right now.
There isn't, but
yeah,
we were kind of going that direction. You know, you said
said
Void Ray. I'm like, yes, StarDuck. He's been watching, but always.
Yeah, I mean, he has been. I mean, we're not wrong in
Yes,
that.
he was in the chat.
He was in the chat, but here we have GyulzzinG being pretty aggressive, and oh my god, he's just going all the way in. Like, and StarDuck, we've never seen this before, but he's droned up too much. He has too many workers. Look, he's ahead by 10.
I never thought I'd see the daylight. I never thought I'd see the day, and he is paying the price for it. This is extreme greed from any Protoss player, but especially coming out of StarDuck. This is not a situation he's too familiar with.
Yeah. I mean, right? Like, I don't blame him. You know, he's never been in this situation before. Like, oh my god, it's the early game, and I don't have units, and my opponent does have units. What's going on? We have a bit of a role reversal here.
Being the other way around, yeah. And yeah, you can sort of tell there. Shield battery overcharge not really being utilized. And to be honest, even if you were to utilize it, what units does he have to use it on? There we go. We have that overcharge being used up.
Yeah.
And he does have a couple of units out now, but
exactly. He has a couple of units, but GyulzzinG, he's just waiting at the timer right now. But like the overcharge is about to run out, and he has so many with that Colossal, with that Immortal as well. Like it doesn't even matter if there's an overcharge.
He doesn't even care about kiting. Yeah. He got a little bit there, but honestly, I didn't think he even needed to. Warp Prism coming in right now, going to give GyulzzinG so much micro potential, and I think that's just going to be it.
Yeah, like, what are you gonna do here? Like, the production is denied. We only have one active warp gate, so only one unit is gonna be warping it at a time.
Ooh, good middle walking.
Yeah, good middle walking. StarDuck is actually still ahead in workers, but
but not ahead in life. GG is called, and GyulzzinG from Team Galgadot is gonna be taking that game number 1.
oh my god, do you know what we just saw?
Bizarro World?
We just saw
Did I wake up this morning in a different universe?
We saw StarDuck. This is like his like villain origin story. You know how there's like the Joker origin story of, like, you know, like he's just a working man, and then like something happens to his family and he just cracks. Like, this is StarDuck being like, you know what, I'm gonna turn over a new leaf.
I think this is less like Joker and more like the Penguin. And I'm specifically talking about that one episode of that one animated series where the Penguin was like, I'm gonna turn over a new leaf. Then Batman beat the crap out of him. It's like, fine, have it your way.
Exactly. Like, this was StarDuck's moment. He was trying to turn it around and be good, and then he just got shot in the face, you know. And it's like, you know what? You're right. Nope. Like, this is not the way. Like, I have to be cheesy.
And I cannot wait to see what he has in store for us in Death Aura. Watch him go 3 Nexus before gas.
Oh god. No, what's gonna happen? Oh god, we're gonna see there's Steel was saying, like, StarDuck is evolving. I think maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. We'll see.
Evolving? He's going from a StarDuck to a land duck. Or no, from a StarDuck to an air duck. Then from an air duck to a ground duck. Alrighty then, but speaking of ducks, that is one of the players who will be on this map, that map being Death Aura LE. LE, of course, standing for Lithuanian Energy, naturally. And over here in the bottom right-hand corner map, swinging all the way in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. Gonna be coming out from team Going Down Along team. We have GyulzzinG. I completely forgot that was the bit for this team because they don't have an official meeting for their agreement. Oh.
He's going for, oh no, StarDuck, no. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Australian player, the Australian Protoss player, currently representing Team Fight for Justice. He's getting cannon rushed. He is StarDuck.
He's trying, Light. He's really trying. He wants to be good. But GyulzzinG just not letting him.
Exactly. GyulzzinG doesn't know. He doesn't know what he's doing right now. Like, he doesn't know that he's tempting the beast, that StarDuck, he's trying to turn over a new leaf. He's trying to be good, but he just keeps getting cheesed, and oh no.
And then he remembers why he was the Protoss player that he was, why he had to play that way.
Yeah.
To survive.
It's this. He's gonna have a moment after this series where he's gonna open up like his cupboard, and that's where he hid away his shrine to like Haas. You know, that's where he put it.
He threw it away, but he goes to the garbage dump, and he's like, I'm gonna need this back.
It's gonna be this scene where outside it's raining, it's like in a dark alley, you know, there's thunder crashing, and then he like dives into the dumpster. He takes out the statue of Haas, he brings it back in, you know, like, oh god.
And then that night in his room, the spirit of Haas visits him and says, I am glad you found your way again, child.
Oh god, no. So, a couple of things are happening. Obviously, GyulzzinG is doing his cannon rush, and he's going to be able to get the cyber core. I say that, but you know, high ground vision was just denied because the pylon was taken out. The probe is just in range.
Denied to an extent.
Yeah, denied to an extent. And StarDuck, he's doing like probably the best response you can as a Protoss, and that's throwing down your own forge to throw down your own cannon. Otherwise, things can quickly snowball, and you're just going to have cannons in your main base, and you're just going to die.
Exactly. This rush is aggressive, but cannons are still a static unit. Now, the interesting thing that GyulzzinG did here, he did bring 2 probes along. So I can't imagine him just trying to sack one of them to send another one in to get a bit more vision, but he's actually sending that other probe home. He's just decided, you know what, this rush, it's did what it had to do.
Yeah.
StarDuck, my opponent, he's going to the next phase. I am going to have to prepare for that. Now, is he aware of the Stargate? That's my question.
Just checking GyulzzinG vision.
Nope.
He does not see the Stargate. He does not see anything behind the mineral line right now, and I don't think he'll be able to, even if he sends in the probe. Behind this GyulzzinG, he is expanding. He is transitioning out of this, you know, cannon rush, and as you said, like, it did what it had to do, right? Like, it denied the natural, it killed the cybercore, it did damage, but will GyulzzinG be ready for them Void Rays?
That is going to be the question, isn't it?
Oh.
And Void Rays, they're faster now. They can move across the map. GyulzzinG now is aware that the Void Rays are going to be coming. So how does he prepare against that? He only has one gateway at the moment. Warp Gate not even ready.
Yeah, and I'm very surprised with what StarDuck did with that Void Ray. I was assuming that he was just going to send the Void Ray across the map to deal damage, but instead, again, he's trying, you know? He's clearing up the natural, and that tells me that he wants to expand. Like, he wants to get into a longer game with this.
How soon does he want to expand, though, as the Void Ray is going across the map? Stargate's rallying towards that one Void Ray. He's producing 2 at a time, Light.
Oh boy. And as you said, the patch has been live for like maybe 2 weeks now, almost 2 weeks, and yeah, the Void Rays, they're becoming a lot more prominent. Oh, StarDuck actually throwing down pylons in the natural?
Yeah, a little bit of a distraction there. Maybe, best case scenario, form a little bit of whatchamacallit, blocking shield batteries from going down or what have you. Now, GyulzzinG really taking this Void Ray threat seriously. You can see that he moved back towards shield battery range, and now he's making nothing but stalkers. When you get to a scenario where it's Void Rays versus stalkers, you need a lot more stalkers than Void Rays.
Yeah, and it's such a shame that probe went down, because StarDuck, he's sending a replacement probe because he threw down those pylons to throw down offensive shield batteries to support the Void Rays, but that was immediately shut down. The first probe went down. He's forced to send his second probe back home because GyulzzinG has defended.
Exactly. GyulzzinG really showing us that he knows what to do in this scenario. He is an experienced veteran player right now. He knows what to do in a cannon rush, has met its end.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh my god, GyulzzinG, he's perfectly fine. Like, he's ahead in workers, he's getting his production up and running. And to be fair, StarDuck, he's not stopping his Void Ray production. And I feel like we haven't seen like the full potential of said mass Void Ray. So maybe this can work anyway, even if there are like a decent amount of Blink Stalkers.
Well, you say that, but there's another anti-air unit for the Protoss in the Protoss arsenal that does do splash damage and doesn't have an armor tag. But, as you were saying, it is only now going to be Blink Stalkers coming out from GyulzzinG. Not really taking up too much. I mean, getting a Robo facility, so I imagine that he's eventually going to go into Stalker Immortal.
Yeah. I mean, he's working on +1 as well, so he's gonna have them +1 Blink Stalkers, and they're pretty good. Like, in general, like, we do see them pretty commonly in this matchup. One-shot. Oh yeah.
If you can get enough to one-shot, then those Void Rays are just going straight down one by one. Like, the DPS is pretty high, but it's not instant.
Exactly, like, that's the thing. Like, in this defensive position, like, you have these shield batteries, you have overcharge, but at the end of the day, if you one-shot a Void Ray, like, it doesn't matter. Like, the shield batteries won't really come into play. And all we'll see.
But this is a lot of Void Rays, though. GyulzzinG really taking a risk. Fighting within shield battery range, but already you can see how much damage all those Stalkers have with when they each shoot their single shot. When this Void Ray already in the red, despite the shield batteries.
Yeah, the HPS, the heals per second, just wasn't high enough for the shield batteries to keep it.
You've never played a healer, have you, Light?
Yo, that's what it's called.
In any MMOs.
Are we really gonna bring this up? I know what I'm saying. Behind this, GyulzzinG, he's taking that third base. Okay, interesting. Like, he's just continuing to macro up. StarDuck.
Yeah. Well, I think he knows that StarDuck is in a pretty scared position. Maybe not necessarily contained, but yeah, he knows that these Void Rays cannot do anything until they're masked up. So GyulzzinG, what is he going to do? He's going to get his economy in order. He's going to make it so that he'll have the production and the army that can deal with mass Void Rays. And there we go, Templar Archives being thrown down.
There we go. So we're probably going to see, I mean, oh god, he's going to blink into the main base.
Oh god. GyulzzinG, you have no idea what you're poking right now, my bad guy.
Does he? Like, are there enough Void Rays and Immortals to deal with this? There should be, and I mean, Blink is off cooldown already.
There we go. They're already going to be escaping there. Prismatic Alignment definitely helped, but they did slow them down a little bit too much to so they couldn't catch up. Fleet Beacon now being the response from StarDuck, and that's a rich base that GyulzzinG is taking, a rich Vespene base.
That's GyulzzinG is so confident this game. Like, he's like, you
really
know what?
is.
I'm so ahead. I'm gonna just take this aggressive expansion. I'm gonna take the gold. I'm gonna be greedy.
I'm gonna take the one that's on your side of the map.
Exactly, and I mean, there we go. We do have a Fleet Beacon finishing up for StarDuck. He's going to be working on his upgrades, which is nice. I mean, we may get to the point where GyulzzinG is a little bit too greedy and StarDuck goes for like a big 2-base all-in and could potentially like deal some game-ending damage. There's a lot of potentialities there.
Yeah, I'm just watching that production tab right now. Like, I'm waiting for those flux veins to finish up, because you know what that means, doesn't it? Like, that's when StarDuck decides I have speed for my Void Rays. I'm gonna go aggressive.
Yeah.
GyulzzinG though, really active on the map, just keeping his Void Ray numbers down, and Storm is about to finish up. A couple of Archons being warped in. What are Void Rays going to do against Archons is my question.
Exactly, they're not going to do much at all. I was a little bit worried about Storm because I was thinking, oh, maybe he's not going to morph in any Archons, but we did see a couple in the production tab, so he should have them for the defense. And as you said, StarDuck, like, the most he can hope for is denying the space that he has no idea about. I don't know if he has enough here to really take this on. I mean, we'll see.
It's a lot of Zealots, which, funnily enough, is the units that you want to tank Void Ray shots. Void Rays actually don't do a lot against light units like that. Great Storms being thrown out, couple of Void Rays down, just so vulnerable. And that actually also reset the count for Guardian Shell on these Immortals. Now GyulzzinG with almost twice the army supply. StarDuck's best choice right now. Flux Veins finished up. Gonna be leading GyulzzinG on a wild goose chase, just trying to buy himself as much time as he can, but it seems like that's gonna run out. +2 Stalkers do so much against these Void Rays.
Exactly. To be fair, the army, like, it didn't quite follow him all the way. There we go. He does blink into the main base. The Void Rays are just here to buy time, because behind this StarDuck, he is getting a Nexus. He's getting a third base. He's getting them great equalizers. He's working on the robotic space. That's probably going to be for disruptors, which will help a lot. But he just needs so much time to, like, get everything up and running. And GyulzzinG, he doesn't even care about the Void Rays at home. Like, he's just sending everything across the map.
I mean, he keeps keeping his Stalkers back, but other than that, yeah, he just does not care. And look at this, he's like, I lost 6 probes and potentially a base. Who cares? I have a rich Vespene gas base.
Right, yeah, exactly. He doesn't even care about his main base. And honestly, like, here at home, what is there? There's a couple of Immortals for defense. Like, the Zealots are just going to get on top of this. There is some side defense at the Natural, so the Natural is going to be a little bit harder to break. The third is so exposed, though, and
one Void Ray just staring down the entire GyulzzinG army.
It actually survived. Oh, God.
Not anymore! I said not anymore! I said not any- Okay, it's still actually surviving. Really good Storms being thrown down. That's just about the entire army. Even getting all of the probes. This is the beginning of the end, and I think that end is going to be coming pretty soon, but the Disruptors are out!
Oh, we got to see the Disruptor!
The Archon actually blocking it! The Archon body blocking the Stalkers! And that one's a really good Purification Nova, but that is only one Nova. GG is called. GyulzzinG from Team Galgadot gonna be taking that series 2-0.
GG. Well played. I played the wrong fanfare, but GG. GyulzzinG with the tour.
Good. Funara, light_VIP.